Hey there, Linda. I was just wondering about some news that I heard earlier. Are you really not going to be having a wedding, even though you're marrying my little brother?
That's right. We decided that there just wasn't much of a point in throwing something like that. After all, we're both in our 40s, and we've both already been divorced before. Not to mention just how much money it would cost us to do something like that.
Well, I guess it's not like I can't understand where you two are coming from with that.
Do you really think that we should be throwing a wedding for the two of us, Zara?
I mean, I don't really think that it's my place to be telling you how to be handling your marriage or anything like that. And besides, I'm sure that if you did have a wedding, you'd have plenty of people commenting about your age anyways. But anyways, my parents have told me that, and I just wanted to chat.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope that your parents aren't too upset about the decision to do things this way. Maybe James and I should go and try to talk to them about all of this one more time.
Oh, don't you two worry about that. I'll be sure and explain everything to them, so you don't have to worry a bit, okay?
Are you really sure about that? Well, okay then. If you're offering, I guess that's fine with me. And please, tell your parents that I really am sorry to be causing them any kind of worry or stress about this, okay?
Well, it's not like my parents are insisting that you two have a wedding no matter the circumstances, but there are more traditional people in my family who probably wouldn't understand a marriage without a wedding.
I understand where they would come from with all of that too, so please apologize for any undue stress we might have caused.
Well, I think that these kinds of things are just bound to happen when you start to reach a certain age. I mean, I really can't believe that you two are really getting married at the ages you are.
Is it really that weird? I feel like getting married at any age has become pretty normalized at this point. And celebrities are always getting married and splitting up and getting married again all through their career.
Well, of course it makes sense for them to do it. They're famous. But I think that if I was your age and I still wasn't married yet, I would probably just give up, to be honest. After all, do you really think that you're going to be able to find love when you're so old?
You know, the truth is that I don't really even want to have a wedding at all. I mean, if James said he wanted one, that would be different, but...
Oh, well, aren't you two just made for each other then? Isn't that so sweet? But there's just one little problem with this perfect plan of yours. What are you two going to do about children?
What do you mean, what are we going to do about children? I don't understand what you're getting at.
I mean, that you don't think it would be just a little tricky for someone at your age to be able to have children? I mean, even if you were able to somehow get pregnant, I think that there would be so many possible health issues that could arise for the baby. Isn't that right?
I mean, I suppose all of that is quite possible, but I suppose that would just be something we would monitor for a long time. But if I could have a healthy child with no issues, I'd be so happy to be able to do that.
I forget that you're just an only child, right? Anyways, I know that my parents would like to finally be getting some grandchildren, you know.
Of course I know about them, even if they never would say anything about children to my face ever. But I would really love to be able to have a child to make them happy as well.
Don't you worry, Linda. I understand just how you must be feeling right now. But you know, even if my parents haven't said anything to you, I know that they still really, really want some grandchildren.
I see. Well, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do anything about that this moment.
By the way, I hear that both of your parents are still working. Is that really true? Aren't they about the same age as mine and James' parents?
Yes, my parents are still working. In fact, they own and manage a restaurant. I think they just want to keep on working until their bodies simply won't allow it anymore, but that's why they're always so busy.
I see. And if I remember correctly, it was a pretty nice place, right? I heard it even has a Michelin star. So how did a nobody like you end up with such a nice place?
I know it's surprising. I think about how hard my parents worked to build up their reputation as well. It took them decades to be able to build up the amount of customers that they have now, but I really am just so proud of them.
Well, that really is amazing. And the food they serve is some kind of multi-course, really fancy meal, isn't that right? I actually don't know all that much about how it works. But I've heard a little bit about those kinds of places and know that they're supposed to be so fancy because they only use the best ingredients, right?
I don't really know if that's the case for my parents' place. I think they just use what they have around at the time to make a menu.
But surely your parents' restaurant must be really, really expensive to eat at, don't you think?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the course that you choose and how hungry you are. I think the cheapest course option that my parents have is about $70 per person.
But isn't that really, really expensive for just one meal for one person? I mean, I don't know any other place where I'd be paying $70 for a meal. But then again, my family never really ate out all that much while we were growing up, so maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I think that you're right. It's not a cheap meal for sure, but I think that compared to other similar places, it is on the cheaper end.
And I'm sure that prices are going up all over the industry with how the economy has been going lately. But even so, I bet that your parents make some really, really good food. I would just love to be able to try it even once.
Yeah, I mean, part of the fun of going to their restaurant is the variety of different food that you can try over the courses. In fact, basically every restaurant that does this kind of stuff has their own style and flavor. It's kind of fun to be able to compare and think about what went into certain dishes.
Wow, you're making it sound like a whole experience. Well, if I'm ever back in your hometown, I will for sure be stopping into your parents' place to try out their food. Maybe I'll even ask them for their most expensive course that they have. After all, I would love to be able to let my children have even a bite of something that fancy. I just want to be able to take them out and have them experience different things like that. Get them a little cultured, you know?
Well, I'm sure that my parents would be more than happy to serve you if you came.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. And I'll just have to pair whatever I'm eating with a nice wine or liquor. After all, my family are big drinkers, so we always have to have a drink when we have a meal. These are just little things that you're going to have to know now that you're part of our family, Linda.
I see. Well, I do appreciate all the heads up about your family, and please let me know if you do make plans to go eat at my parents' place.
Hey, Linda, I just wanted to check if this was really true, but are you working at that really fancy sushi restaurant that opened up in town? Or rather, I guess I should just come out and ask, are you really the owner of that place?
That's right. I'm the owner of the city's newest sushi restaurant. I've actually always been really fascinated with Japanese cuisine ever since I was little.
But, I mean, the place is getting rave reviews. I hear that actors and even politicians have been photographed lining up to eat there.
I mean, I don't really want to brag, but yes, we've been getting a varied mix of customers coming into our place. And I have heard of some famous people having to put on disguises to avoid unwanted attention while eating at my place. But I haven't gone out and greeted them or anything like that. I just wanted them to enjoy their meal.
That's just incredible. I mean, I've had sushi before, but only at grocery store and stuff mostly. But you're in a whole nother world. I mean, you're making some real sushi. Not only that, but you're already winning awards for it, right?
Thankfully, yes, there are people out there who like our food so much that they're writing some really nice things about us. And we have a lot of customers coming in for our special deal days as well.
You mean that you have specials? Well, since we're family, I could bring my husband and kids and we could just all eat for free there, right?
I'm really sorry, Zara, but I think that might just be a little bit difficult to arrange.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? What's the point in being related if I can't have access to your super famous food?
Well, it's just that even though I'm the owner, there are limits to what I can do. After all, you do know this place is a luxury chain, right? There are rules to the franchise that I just can't break. Besides, for how good it all is, the margins are actually thinner than you might think, so I can't just be giving away food.
Oh, I see. Well, then I guess I could just go there with my family, and then you could just treat us all to a meal. That wouldn't be so bad, right?
You mean you would want me to just treat your family to a meal and pay for everything you guys ordered?
But of course. What else does treat someone to a meal even mean? I wouldn't ask you to just pay for part of our meal.
Have you looked at the prices on the menu that we have posted online? Even I'm not prepared to eat at my own place.
Oh, come on. You literally own that restaurant. Are you telling me that you don't even have enough money to eat the food that you cook? You must make a ton, right? Surely you'd be able to treat one little family to one little meal, right? Would it be that bad?
Yes, the food is very fancy and expensive, but my salary doesn't really reflect that. Besides, my husband is actually the one telling me that under no circumstances am I to treat you to a meal.
Wait, what? You mean that my little brother is telling you not to serve my family for free? What is the meaning of this? Are you being serious?
He told me that if I treat you to a meal just once, that you're going to come back over and over again asking for more free stuff. So I'm sorry, but if that's how it's going to be, then I need to put my foot down and stop this before it starts.
Just who in the world do you think you are to talk to me like this, huh?
I'm not the one who decided this, Zara. It was your brother. I'm just following his advice. I appreciate that you and I are family now, but it doesn't mean that we can do whatever we want to each other.
I can't believe that James would do this to me. What is the matter with him? What could he be thinking with this?
Well, I just wanted to tell you what he told me, so I'm really sorry, but I don't want to upset James, so I won't be giving you any free meals.
But, come on, why not? You have to do this. We're family, and that means that you should be giving me special treatment. That's what family is all about. You're just cheap, do you know that? You just want all the money that you can get. Oh, Linda, are you there? I just wanted to tell you how much I love sushi. Especially urchin. It is just my favorite kind of sushi.
Oh, hello, Zara. Are you out eating sushi right now or something?
That's right. I am out eating sushi right now. At your restaurant, that is.
Sorry, are you telling me that you're in my restaurant right now eating sushi? Is that right?
That's right. It's actually my parents' anniversary today, so I brought them and the rest of my family to your restaurant for a lovely sit-down meal. I guess I forgot that you had to work today, though. It's so sad that you can't join us since you're so busy. But we're sure you're running around all over the place.
Zara, I'm really not trying to be rude or anything like that, but how do you intend to pay for this meal that you're all having? We talked about the prices earlier, didn't we? Are you going to be okay to pay?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that one bit. After all, you're going to pay for all of this once we're done.
Zara, what in the world are you even talking about? I told you the last time that we talked about this. I am not going to be treating anyone to any meals. Did you really come with the intention of trying to make me pay for the things that you order?
Oh, come on. I just told you that it's my parents' anniversary today, didn't I? Are you really telling me you won't even make an exception for this? Just think of it as a present for them. You are their daughter-in-law, after all. And besides, I'm the one who's always having to take care of them. Do you have any idea just how much it is to have to be around them all of the time? You guys just come over once in a while, so you don't know what it's really like. And on top of that, I wanted to give my children a chance at tasting some truly fancy food tonight. Are you going to be so selfish as to stop all of this?
I just don't see why you needed to come to my restaurant to do all of that. There are plenty of other nice places in town.
But what would be the point of going to any other place but this one? We're just so lucky to have the owner of a fancy restaurant in our family. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you one more time for agreeing to cover all of this for us. It really is so nice of you.
I already told you that I wasn't going to be able to do that and that it wouldn't happen anyways. You're going to have to pay your own bill for tonight. Do you understand me?
What in the world are you talking about, Linda? I already told everyone that you were going to be paying for this so that they could order whatever they wanted. Today, we're eating on the restaurant's dime.
Well, I am very sorry to say, but I actually quit this job just last month, so good luck trying to make the owner pay for it.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that you quit from your job here?
I mean that it was just getting to be a bit too much to handle with all the publicity and all that, so I decided to quit. So again, good luck trying to get the new owner to pay for all of that for you. Of course I wasn't going to pay for your meal anyways, but now it's really not going to happen.
But wait, this can't be right. If you don't pay for this, then we're going to be in serious trouble. I told everyone to order the most expensive things off the menu since this whole thing was supposed to be free. Not only that, but we've been ordering bottle after bottle for our table as well.
Wow, you really are a piece of work. Do you know that, Zara? And to think you've been ordering booze, too. You do realize that our most expensive bottles of wine cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right?
And so far, we've already gone through 3 top-shelf bottles.
Have you been keeping track of what you've been ordering? Do you have any idea just how much you're going to have to owe at the end of this?
I have no clue how much all of this is going to cost us, but it's probably going to be in the thousands of dollars at this point.
You really have just taken things way too far this time. Do you know that, Zara? But honestly, it sounds like you're going to get what's coming to you, so I hope that you get no mercy shown to you.
Please, you have to do something to help us out. I mean, you used to own this place, for crying out loud. Surely you could pull some strings or get us a discount or something, right?
I quit. That means I don't work there anymore. Don't you understand? Why in the world would I turn around and ask them to do something like that?
Please, you have to do something. I'm begging you to do anything you can to help us. Can't you see that we're going to be in serious trouble if you don't do something?
I already told you that the answer is no. Besides, there's nothing that I can do for you now.
But, I mean, I don't have the kind of money to be able to pay for something like this. What am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to pay for all of this?
If you don't have enough money in your bank account right now to cover a meal like that, then you should use your credit card or something. Of course, you'll have to pay for it in the end, but at least this way you can buy yourself just a little bit of time. The only thing that you shouldn't do is try to dine and dash now that you've racked up such a huge bill for yourself.
But I mean, I don't even know if I have enough of my credit card to be able to cover something like this. I think you really don't get how much we spend.
Ah, I see. Well, that really just sucks for you then, doesn't it?
Oh, come on. You have to be able to do something to help us out here. I mean, think of all that my parents have done for you and my little brother. The least you can do is help us pay for this.
Wait a second, are you under the impression that your parents have been financially supporting James and I or something? Because the whole reason that we moved away in the first place is because of how bad your parents were with money. And you too now, apparently. We didn't want to get caught up in what was completely unsustainable behavior.
I don't understand how you could be so cruel to me. I mean, we're family. You're married to my brother. You're not just going to leave us all like this, are you? You wouldn't be so cruel, right?
Look, you were the one who made the reservation to come here, and you were the one who thought I was going to pay for your meal. You got yourself into this mess. Now you'll just have to find your own way out of it.
Do you have any idea just how much trouble you got me into because you refused to step up and help me pay for that meal? I mean, really, the least you could have done if you weren't going to pay was call the restaurant and try to negotiate some kind of discount for us, you know? I tried to say that I was your sister-in-law, and they just called the cops on me.
Well, I don't know who you think you are trying to negotiate the prices of a meal that you ordered at a restaurant in the first place. Honestly, do you have any idea just how embarrassing it is that people know we're related now?
Well, you didn't leave me any other choice. I had to try and tell them something to get them to bring the price down. But now we're never going to be able to leave the restaurant.
Don't tell me that you tried to run away from the restaurant without paying your bill or something like that.
Well, I tried to do just that, but then I got caught, and now I'm being told that I'm in even more trouble than before. But thankfully, my dad is getting the money together, and no one is going to press charges. But I had to call in some really quick favors at the last minute in order to make it so that I wouldn't get arrested for what I did.
So then you had to take out a loan just to be able to pay off this meal? Don't your parents basically rely on their retirement checks at this point? How are you going to pay them back? I heard that you all didn't really have that much in the way of savings either, so what are you going to do about this? I'm sorry, Zara, but I hope that you can appreciate just how much this is all your fault, you know? I mean, you should have just called ahead if you were going to try and eat at that place, and then this never ever would have happened. Instead, you just went in thinking that your plan would work if I only found out about it while you were halfway through it.
But I mean, I only wanted to take my parents out somewhere nice for their anniversary. Is it really so bad of me? Why am I the bad guy for wanting to do something nice for them? I mean, am I really the bad guy just because I didn't call ahead and check with you? The only reason I didn't do that is because I knew that you would say no. So you can really blame me for not calling ahead and telling you about this?
Is everyone there blaming you for what you've done?
That's right. Everyone is asking why we had to come to a place like this in the first place. And my parents are saying that they would have been happy to just eat something at home. I was only trying to make everyone happy. This isn't fair. How did all of this turn around on me like this?
Maybe that's because you thought that you could get away with eating for free just because of who you know. Even though I had already told you that I wasn't going to be serving you anything for free, even though I was still working there. But I don't blame them for being mad at you now that you've pushed your parents further into debt.
But, I mean, you should have told me that you weren't working here anymore. Why didn't you say a word to me about it?
I didn't really see any need to give you an update about my employment status.
But there was a need. I told you that I really wanted to go to your restaurant, remember? So why did you quit like that?
Oh, please, don't even try to blame this on me. You wanted to come here tonight because you thought you could eat for free. But I'm not going to put up with this attitude of yours anymore, and I'm glad that your whole family is upset at you for what you've done. I just hope that you learn to take responsibility for your actions and help your parents pay off the mess that you've created. After that, I heard that Zara had to go out and start working a part-time job to start to repay her parents for the money they had to borrow to pay for the meal. Eventually, I heard that Zara's husband got sick and tired of the poor spending habits of Zara and her family and decided to walk away from the marriage. He even took the kids. Then, once Zara had paid back the meal, I heard that her parents kicked her out as well. Not only were they upset with her, but they also had to downsize their life to be more affordable because of their own debt. I don't know what's going on with all of them now, but I know that I'm just happy I'm not involved with them any longer. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.